So this thing is sporting a liquid cooled. They don't give you a lot of pictures, do they? Really wrapped in there. A liquid cooled Intel Core i9K series. So that's the processor I had. That's probably an i9 9900K, I think. 64 gigabytes of RAM? What? That is an insane amount of RAM. Oh, I like this. The 1TB NVMe SSD plus 2TB hard drive combo and a 3090. So they're really trying to put everything into this, aren't they? Well, you guys know where you sit at the 3090. 3090 is number one GPU. I don't need to look that up for you. What we do need to look at is the processor here. So let me cut back here for a second while I look at the deets. Oh no, actually this is above my processor. This is the i9 10900KF, which should be the special version, I think. Yeah, we're not gonna find it here. It's not gonna be on the hierarchies because it's normally the Fs are special editions, I believe. Oh my god, look at its score. Its score is ridiculous. And its turbo speed is 5.3 gigahertz. I mean, here's where it sits with its marks. So if you want to compare it to the Ryzen 9 3900, looking at this thing specs wise, I feel like if you're going for this level, you really should have a better CPU in there. Honestly, like, I feel like we're losing out. I feel like you're going to be bottlenecked. Not sure I'd recommend this one. I feel like you should be getting they're really hurting you on the CPU on this one. I don't think I would recommend this personally. They're bottlenecking you and cutting you out just for the sake of getting a 3090 by giving you a worse CPU. It's gonna bottleneck it anyway. Like, I can't dig this one, honestly. They're trying to show you, like, look, we're gonna throw 64 gigabytes of RAM in here. It's like, no, that's not. We don't need that. Like, unless you're like a game developer and you're at home, like, doing Unreal game development and you need good render times, or like you do After Effects rendering and you need really fast render times for some reason. Even 64 gigabytes for that is a bit overkill. Like, you could do 32 and still be amazing. So I feel like they chalked in a bunch of RAM, which is cheaper, to make it look like the system is beefy as hell. But really, you're never going to see the full power of that 3090 in this thing because you're going to be bottlenecked by the CPU. So for that reason, I would not recommend this. Also, I mean, notice how, like, they give you two shots of this. Was not a very cool case, to be honest. There's way cooler designs out there. And they're not going to open it up and show you the internals. This is, honestly, it's kind of lazy. Realistically, I would not recommend this at all. Another CyberPower Extreme Gamer Extreme VR gaming PC here. Intel i5 10400F, 2.9 gigahertz, GeForce GTX 616 Super, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 500 gigabytes of NVMe SSD. This thing is up there as another top seller on Amazon for gaming PCs. A lot of shoppers are buying this. Man, look at that RAM though. It looks cool. Looks like it's a stock CPU cooler. Well, we know the 1660 Super dropped in its price per performance ratio recently. i5 10400F. I mean, it's a solid mid-range CPU. Very solid. Like, you're going to be able to game in 1440p with this thing. The 1660 Super being in there is, I think that beats the Ti a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, like, barely. It's basically the same as the Ti. So, I mean, it's a pretty price-performing card. This is very much a mid-range option for gamers. It's a solid pick for mid-range, I would say. It has a well even out set of stats spread between the CPU, the graphics card, and the SSD, which is going to help you load your games faster. It's 500 gigabytes, so you can't store Steam library of like 200 games on there, but you can install, you know, what was it, like 4 or 5 Cyberpunks equivalents worth of games, if that gives you kind of any sort of ballpark idea. It's a good all around mid-range option. You're going to be able to play Fortnite in 60 FPS in 1440p if you want to, or if you want the higher frames, you can play it in 1080p at probably over 175 frames per second. Other modern games, you might be able to play some in 1440p, but not in 60 FPS, but not many. It's mostly going to be a 1080p gaming machine, but you'll get high frames per second in 1080p, and you have the option of sometimes being able to play some games in 1440p, depending on how well they're optimized. A game like Fortnite is super well optimized, and it uses more cartoony, lower required graphics, so you're going to be able to do higher frames, and you're going to be able to do higher resolution there. I recommend this one. This is a nice one, and it's been selling on Amazon for a reason. This is the CyberPower Gamer Extreme VR gaming PC. So they're saying this is ready for VR. Okay. An Intel Core i5-9400F. If you don't know what that means, don't worry. We're going to look it up. NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660 6GB, but it's not the Super version. Normally we see the GeForce GTX 1660 Super. And I don't think that... okay, so that's not the Super version. We've got a 240GB SSD. It's 240 gig. That's a little bit low, but at least they pair you up with a 1TB hard drive to go along with. So let's spec this for a second. Let's take the i5-9400F. This system here was built with really, really good price performance ratio parts in mind, especially on that GPU and CPU. I actually own a CyberPower PC, and I love the designs that they use with LED fans and cases. They're very gamer oriented. They're very, you know, the way they set up these gamer PCs, they're really cool. They're on, I really, really like the design. And this one has a really, really nice like front. You can tell it kind of sticks out a bit from this shot. This front kind of looks like tempered glass piece. USB 3.0 slots right in front for you. Give it another good look. See how the air is venting. It's intaking the air from the top part here where the buttons are. That front is actually going to be your intake. Going to intake air through here and push it back through here and vent it out the sides and normally the top, but in this case, there is no vent on the top. It's not necessarily a bad thing. That's what I prefer, but it depends on like what kind of power parts you're running. And here's another look. Looks like they're running like a pretty stock CPU cooler. There's lots of room to expand on RAM. It's coming with 8GB, which is a little low. This is one of the top rated gaming PCs on Amazon right now. It's or it has one of the most ratings, and it's 4.5 out of 5 stars. I'll look at it, might be a little bit inaccurate there. So there's a lot of gamers buying this up right now, and I'm trying to look at why that is the case, because the price point is not where I would expect it to be. Oh, this is okay. So they're actually they actually benchmarked for you, and this is one of the reasons. This is like a good thing for them to add in the pictures. Actually, I think this is something a lot of people are looking for. Can I play modern games in high FPS here? And I think like one of the main ones we want to look at here, and this is what I like normally look for all of you, is Fortnite. Where is Fortnite gonna sit here? Can you play this thing in normally what I look at is like, can you play it in 1440p at 60 FPS, and can you play it at 1080p above 60 FPS? And actually, it looks like they're touting great benchmarks here. I like where the performance sits on this personally, especially the 1080p performance, but it's cool. This is a great mid-range system if you're wanting to play some games in 1440p if you get a 1440p monitor. And it's going to run like most modern games in 1080p at 60 FPS, which is great.
Really quick, gaming creators, if you have not already entered our $1,100 Gaming Creator Bundle sweepstakes, you got to do it. Link in the description below. It includes Rode, who hooked us up with this Rode Procaster microphone, shock mount, boom arm, and the mixer to go with it. If you want to sound this good, let me just show you the package. It's freaking great. Take a look. It also includes this mixer right here, which is arguably the highest end creator mixer on the market. Plus, our friends at TubeBuddy threw in a Legend license if you want to step up your YouTube channel management game, and Restream threw in a license as well if you want to stream to multiple platforms at the same time and grow through live streaming faster. This costs $0 to enter. Link in the description below. If you want to enter the sweepstakes, if you want to sound this good, the exact package we use on the podcast every single day, and the tools we use to manage our channels and help our clients, all free as a part of this sweepstakes. Good luck. I hope you win. Adios, gaming creators. Appreciate you.